Welcome to the Catchin Up with Carter podcast. Our family would like to say thank you for choosing our podcast to spend time with. Please be sure to follow our family on all our social media handles, including Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Now, stand by for the Catchin Up with Carter show in 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's go.
Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us on the Catchin Up with Carter episode number 3 over here on Spotify now. I'm super excited about that, by the way. Finally an official podcast again, so I'm really excited about that. So if you could share my stuff and follow our family on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, I'd greatly appreciate that. All right, so as you guys have known already a little bit from me interviewing the 501st Legion as well as the Mandalorian Mercs, I am a big supporter of sci-fi. I'm a big supporter of the arts, the fine arts, acting, all that stuff. Anything with movies, just bring it. I love all that shit all day. So I was scrolling around and meeting different people, through different social media platforms. I keep following one, then I'll see another one, and then I'll find another one, and then by the time you know it, I got like 50 new cosplayers or something that I added, because I think what they do is super cool. I think I'm definitely destined to do something like that in some point of my life. So for this episode, I'll be featuring Deputy Sheriff, International Cosplayer, and Philanthropist Michael Knightmage Wilson. He's born in Ohio, and he is an official Deputy Sheriff in Ohio, and he's been doing that for a long time. But not only does he do something amazing for his main job and protects the community and helps out in many ways being a police officer, a sheriff, on the side as a cosplayer. He's created over 350 costumes. He's an award-winning cosplayer, and many of his creations are being praised and displayed on numerous platforms in print and online. Michael is noted as one of the most influential and diverse male cosplayers in the world. Along with judging cosplay contests, Michael often hosts cosplay panels and workshops at conventions showcasing the creative, positive, inspiring, and supportive side of cosplay. What? He's a cool dude. I can't wait to talk to him. Okay, in a few minutes after this promo, we'll be talking to Michael Knightmage Wilson, otherwise mainly known as Knightmage, and is off duty. Okay, guys, talk to you in a few minutes. By the way, all these awesome beats underneath here, that is provided by King EF. Follow King EF on YouTube for all the best beats out there. Talk to you soon.
Hey, you. Yeah, you over there. Do you have an idea, a podcast idea, something that would go great on this show that somebody should know about, that you or somebody that you know could tell us about? Send us an email at catchinupwithcarter@gmail.com. That's catchin with no G in the middle. catchinupwithcarter@gmail.com. We want to know your ideas and we want to talk about them. Toodaloo.
All right, guys and gals, we are back with Michael Knightmage Wilson, officer in Ohio, as well as world-renowned cosplayers. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Very good. The weather's getting a little better, which thankfully, just being in the Midwest, I'm ready for some better weather.
Yeah, well, I'm Ohio, man, so, the weather's never better here.
How far away are you from that train derailment?
So I'm actually about 30 miles from there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in Youngstown, Ohio, so not far at all.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, has that affected your town as well, I'm guessing, or?
It hasn't necessarily affected. I mean, people are really worried, people with wells and stuff like that, but it hasn't really too much affected it. It's just a lot of scare, you don't know how the chemicals are reacting. You don't know how far they're going, that type of stuff. But people around East Palestine, there's a lot of people that still haven't been able to come back to their homes. So it's been pretty crazy. Luckily, I'm far enough away where not too affected, but it's still just a scary situation.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. There's so many different angles about that too, from watching all the conspiracy theories and all that crap. But let's get to you.
I think that's been the crazy thing, though. Actually, is just I have so many people like around the world, like they know from Ohio. They're saying all this stuff, but there's just so much misinformation out there. It's nuts. But yeah, that's all another thing.
Yeah. So let's talk about you. So I read up on you, and you got a lot going on your website. You've done so much, and it seems like you have a real big heart, because not only do you do what you do for the community as an officer, but then when you're off time, you're busy dressing up as all sorts of random different things.
I truly have like an identity crisis, man. It's just crazy.
So how did you get? I mean, let's talk about you. You became an officer, and what do you do with that, and how did you go from there to getting into cosplay?
Yeah, so I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I ended up going to YSU, Youngstown State University, and after jumping majors like 20 different times, because that's what you do, I kind of settled on criminal justice, and I got lucky to have the sheriff at the time in my academy class, and ended up getting a job at the local sheriff's office, and going on 24 years there. So I built a career out of that. But I actually, with the cosplay, before 2012, I didn't even know what cosplay was. I didn't know, there was a whole scene. I knew that, there was conventions. I didn't know people like really dressed up the way they did. I just always loved Halloween. Like, Halloween was just my thing. That's when I thought that's when people dress up. So 2012, I wanted to, for Halloween, I wanted to be John Stewart Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. And that's not like a costume you could find at like Spirit Halloween or Walmart. So very crudely had to put that together. And a buddy of mine was, seeing the pictures we posted and stuff, and said, "Oh man, that's pretty awesome costume we got. Would you come out to a Relay for Life capture walk event and just kind of mingle with the crowd?" Yeah, that'd be fun. So did that, and then from that it just kind of snowballed. I got invited to do another charity event and another one. So pretty much like all of 2013, that's all I was doing. Like every weekend was just different charity events. I was doing parades, birthday parties, you name it, just any kind of excuse to dress up. So I decided, well, if I'm doing this, I should probably have more costumes. So I ended up making a Batman costume and a Captain America. I bought a Spider-Man outfit. And that's kind of when I started joining Facebook and posting the costumes there. People started noticing. And then, once in a while, someone would say, "Hey, what conventions do you go to?" I'm like, "I've never been to one." So at the end of 2013, I went to my very first convention. It was the Cincinnati Comic Expo. And man, as soon as I walked on the floor, like, I just felt at home. Like, I'm with my people. This is amazing. So I wore Batman there, and like the very first person to run up to me was a girl. She was dressed as Robin, and we just kind of geeked over each other, and we stood there for like 45 minutes to an hour just taking photos. It was great, and I've just been passionate about it ever since, and it kind of snowballed from there. And after that, doing more charity events, and then trying to get to like every convention I could. They just kind of blended together, and then I started guesting at conventions and judging costume contests, and it really just became a profession at that point.
So what's your favorite part of it now? Because I was reading some of your stuff on your website, knightmage.org. You do stuff from being into competitions, but you also judge them, and you're also a police officer. And what's your most favorite part of what you do? I mean, you got so many cool things going on.
You know what? I think honestly is being just a part of the community. Like, honestly, there is no other community like the cosplay convention community, because I can always say it's a very social hobby and community, but just full of socially awkward people. And that's why we all kind of understand and get one another. There's no judgment. We can just you're free to be who you want to be and express yourself however you want to express yourself. And I think being a part of something like that is just so liberating. Just to be able to freely express yourself how you want, and be able to share the fandom and share something you love with someone. So just being a part of it, but then also knowing the place I'm at now, knowing that possibly what I'm doing is inspiring, someone else to live their best life and to do what they want, with this hobby. And to me, that's amazing. And then hopefully that person inspires someone. So it's a snowball effect. So yeah, just being a part of the community and just being able to share what I love, and hopefully it just inspires people to keep doing what they're doing.
That sounds so cool. I had just interviewed somebody not long ago with the 501st Legion, and I also interviewed somebody from Mando Mercs. Of course, those are both Star Wars related. I love a lot of other things, but I love Star Wars. But it sounds really cool to always want to, when you were a kid or even as an adult, who doesn't watch a show or a movie and be like, man, I'm trying to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, to be in the armor or be in the outfit or whatever of anything. And there's so many things out there in the sci-fi world that you must have met so many cool people. What?
It's been amazing. Like, I honestly, every convention, afterwards I just kind of have to sit and think, like, wow. Like, I truly am blessed to be able to do what I do and go where I go and meet people and network, and it still honestly just blows my mind. I'm just really thankful that I have the opportunity to do it.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys, if you couldn't at least follow him on Instagram, I'm sure you're on TikTok as well.
I'm on everything. I'm mainly, I mainly post on Facebook, but I'm on everything.
Well, okay. Well, I found you on Instagram myself, and I watched a lot of your different videos, and there's times I'll be sitting there and I'll start laughing, and my lady will be like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Dude, I just don't know what to expect. This guy is about to punch the screen and become He-Man or become somebody from Mortal Kombat or something." And I'm like, "This dude's living his best life." You know what I mean? He gets to take off his uniform and then relax and then go be whatever the hell he wants to be. And I think that's everybody's goal. I haven't been to
It's a great outlet, man. I think everyone needs an outlet, but the one thing that is really cool is that, like, my department knows, everyone knows what I do in the community and stuff, and everyone's really supportive of it. It's a great thing because it's a good segue through. So I do a lot of community outreach and recruiting, and can go to schools, high schools and stuff like that. But it's cool to be able to connect with people on this level. So when I'm talking, people really don't want to hear about the deputy sheriff side of it, right? People really kind of want to see the person behind the badge. So it humanizes me and the badge, and that's where the connection is, to make people feel that, listen, we're human too, we love the same things, you know what I mean? So right. I love being able to connect with people in the community like that. So that's why I'm very vocal about what I do, professionally and with the hobby too. So yeah, that's a cool thing.
So have you ever had to come like off duty in an outfit or uniform, or in a costume?
Say that again.
Have you ever had to become like, let's say have you ever seen like a crime happen right in front of you in one of your outfits and be like, dang, I gotta actually.
Oh no, man. I mean, listen, I've thought about, I would love to like go, I don't know, like do a traffic stop or serve a warrant or something dressed as like RoboCop. But I think that was my sheriff would not go for it, but I think that would just be the coolest thing. But no, I get recognized all the time, but I've never actually had to do something on the other end where I'm actually in costume.
Yeah, I just had to ask. I was talking with my stepson Jack, and I was like, what would be funny if we just dress up as some Sasquatches and go in like some state park, but just be just far enough to mess with people's emotions. You know what I mean? Because I think it would be fun to do. I don't know.
I mean, listen, it'd be fun to do until you come across that one dude with a shotgun that is just too freaked out. Yeah.
The state park, right? You got that AR, yeah.
Listen, man. In theory, it sounds amazing, but.
So, what are some of your favorite ones that you tried that you've dressed up as? Because you've done a lot, and you even designed a few of your own, right? 350 or something like that.
Yeah, I've done over 360 now. Man, that's like asking your favorite. That's like asking who your favorite kid is, man. Like, they're all my babies. They all are special in some kind of way. Some costumes I love because I love the character. I love, being that character, embodying that character. And then some costumes I just like to design. Like, I don't know, like Cyclops. I can't stand Cyclops. Like, I hate Scott Summers with a passion. But his 90s, the 90s version of his costume, I absolutely love it. I love that design. So, I cosplay Cyclops. And I despise the character, but I love the creative design of the character. So, as long as I think I'm going to enjoy making something, that's why no one's off limits. Like, I will do literally anything as long as I think I'm gonna have fun with the character. And then, like I said, there's some characters I just embody. When I'm doing charity events, like Batman is really fun, especially around Christmas time. The Grinch, I love doing the Grinch, just because I can act and be a total jerk to people, and they love it because, well, that's the Grinch, And then there's costumes that I don't act or embody, but I just love the way I look. Like Kratos. I love Kratos, but I don't kind of act as Kratos. I just love the aesthetic and just the way it looks. So every costume is different, but I love them equally.
What do you have on your radar now that you maybe seen recently? Like, you know what? I gotta try this one.
Oh man, there's a lot. And here's the thing with me is I'm kind of known for two things. I'm known for doing things cheap. So like every costume I do on a budget. So my budget is typically $250. If I can't make it or modify it for $250 or less, typically I won't do it. I love to show other people that like cosplay, it can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. So that's why I do the budget cosplay. But I also do things fast. So typically a build for me takes anywhere between a day to 5 days. Like 5 days was my max. And that was RoboCop, actually. So it's just because I have no time. Like, so if I see a costume I like and I get started, I have to work fast and finish it, because if I don't, I'm not going to get to it. I'm not going to finish it. So there's a lot of costumes I want to do, but I just don't have a lot of time, so they kind of get thrown on the back burner. And now, of course, like the more conventions I do, right now, I do close to 2 to 3 conventions a month, and plus the day job, so I don't have a lot of time. But yeah, there's a lot of costumes I want to get done, like Galactus. I want to do, well, not the Mandalorian, but I want to do a Mando. Oh man, that's probably going to be the next like personal build. I have a few like NDA projects going on I can't really talk about, but I got to get those built. So a lot of stuff going on.
Now, when you go to an event, do you, let's say just a Comic-Con or something like that, do you just decide, okay, well, this one do you go as a new character each time you go, and do you go kind of like surprise the people, they have no idea what you're going to come as, or how do you do it?
It depends. So it depends on the convention. So if it's an anime convention, I might, do one anime costume and then just some others. It depends on if I'm flying to the con or driving. Obviously, if I'm driving, then I can bring bigger costumes. If I'm flying, I'm kind of limited to what I can bring. And that's kind of another reason why I started making a lot of stuff, so I have a lot of choices. One thing I do like to do, though, at every con is I like to showcase different mediums. So like one costume is always going to, if it's a 3-day convention, one costume is always going to be like a heavy makeup and prosthetic costume, because I want to showcase the makeup. One costume is going to be like kind of a heavy foam build, so a lot of armor made out of foam and stuff like that. Maybe another costume is going to be a lot of painting, maybe like a bodysuit airbrush painting or something like that. So I always kind of want to show different mediums. So yeah, it just depends.
Man, I haven't gone to one. First off, I plan on doing one. There's something coming up in Milwaukee and in Chicago that I plan on doing this year. But I don't know what I would go. What's that?
Where are you based out of?
Well, I live in Rochelle, Illinois, which is about an hour or so from Chicago.
Oh man, you are in the hub, man, where there's literally conventions going on every weekend somewhere, but you are in a good spot where there's a lot of like big good conventions like within at least a 3 or 4 hour radius all around. So yeah, you're in a good spot.
Well, so we went to this Dark Arts and Oddities Con thing that was in DeKalb, Illinois, where NIU is, and that's where I linked up with a few actors, a few authors, a few really neat creators, a bunch of people. Everybody there was so down to earth. Like you said, you just feel like you're with your people, and nobody's judging. They all respect each other's talents, and who doesn't want to be around that? You know what I mean? Like that's just it sounds like where I need to be. So me and the family all talk about doing something like that as a family or separate people, because we just like so many different shows and movies that it's just there's so many ideas. We're watching Mandalorian right now, and I won't say too much. Are you watching it by chance?
I have not, but I'm a spoiler guy, so I'm the type of guy that I will read an entire script online before I go watch a movie.
Well,
I don't care about spoilers. I love them.
Well, there's a part in the was it the second episode, right, or the first episode? Yeah, first episode of the new season. There's a new pirate that comes out. That's like I think it's Shard, Captain Shard. I think his name is.
Okay.
If you look up his character, what he looks like, I think that's going to be a badass. I don't even know how to explain. It's like a pirate mixed with Swamp Thing, and he's got things. He looks so sick. Like
I saw pictures of him, and I don't know if you've seen the meme and stuff, but everyone's been calling him like Salad the Hutt, because he kind of looks like Pizza the Hutt from Spaceballs, but just like a salad. So.
There you go. I just think it's a cool looking character. I was like, ooh, who's this guy? But I can see that too. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I would go as. There's a lot of different ideas, but I definitely want to get into it. I do know that if people out there are good with this 3D printer stuff, I notice a lot of neat things are being printed with that. Man, it's
listen, endless. People today are so spoiled. I'm so jealous because when I first started, you didn't have a 3D printing. Like, I mean, the foam, it wasn't as good as it is now. Even like the store-bought costumes from like Spirit Halloween, the quality of them are just so much better now. Like, y'all are spoiled. Like the tutorials out there. Listen, literally, if you want to build a 10-foot Gundam costume right now, I would say there's a tutorial out there and you will be able to do it. 10 years ago, I would have said, start small. Start with like a little small build and then work your way up. But right now, like, sky's the limit. Whatever you want to do, there's tutorials and the materials are out there for you to do it. So, man, like literally whatever you want to do, go for it.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna do it. I just got to figure out what I'm gonna.
Seriously, man.
I'm
one thing. If like people, this is always my caveat. I have to say this. Always remember though, and people get stuck when they're first cosplaying. They're like, well, I don't want to do this character because I don't look like them, or I don't have the body type for them, or whatever. Cosplay is just your fan art of this character, right? So you take Batman. Batman has been seen 20,000 different ways, depending on the actor or artist or writer or whoever's doing Batman at that time. Batman has been seen 20,000 different ways. So how come Batman can't look like you, or look like me, or look like someone else? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the multiverse theory. Like you were Batman on Earth number 948. I'm Batman on Earth number 468. So this guy, again, there's no wrong way to do fan art. There's no wrong way to make your character. So don't ever get stuck thinking that you can't do something. Like accuracy, like a lot of people love the accuracy. I know you talked about the 501st and the Mandalorian Mercs. This is an example where they have to go with accuracy. They have to look exactly like they do on screen. They have to use certain materials. They have to abide by certain guidelines and rules. You don't have to do that. You can literally make your character pink with crystals coming out of its butt if you want, whatever it is. There's no rhyme or reason for you to do it as long as you're having fun and you say that this is your character. Do it.
What is a memory or something like a small story you can say that is I don't know, like a unique story or something that's happened since you've been in the cosplay world? What's a good one?
Oh man, there's a lot, bro.
Most recent, come on.
Like, oh my god, most recent. Listen, man. Like, honestly, I've done over 300 conventions and more charity events, and honestly, I can say that I've never had a bad experience with anything, and there's always a memorable experience with one. If I have to come back to this one thing or two things, I think this is the one that kind of got me realizing how important representation is. Mm-hmm. Is I was doing a anti-bullying event, and it was a school event, about 250 kids. I was dressed as Batman, elementary school, and I'd done these events before, no big deal. So I did the event, and after the event, about 2 weeks later, one of the teachers contacted me and was like, hey, thanks again for coming. All the kids loved it. There's one kid in particular that just like enamored with you, and he just kept saying like, oh my god, like Batman was here and Batman looks like me. And it was a predominantly white school. There was one black kid, and he just kept saying like, Batman looks like me. That means I can be Batman too. And it didn't hit me till then that how much, again, representation does matter. And that's when I really got into the idea of, yeah, man, this is your fan art, and this is what inspires other people to branch out and do things. And I go back to like Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and I guarantee you Brian Michael Bendis saw a black Spider-Man cosplayer who was just inspired by that and said, that's kind of awesome. This could work. And so it's how inspiration and creativity and art spreads. So, I tell every cosplayer this, I don't care who you are, when you're in costume and you're doing your thing, you're inspiring someone. Someone's taking notice of you. As soon as you step on that show floor, someone is looking at you. They might not tell you, but someone is looking at you. Someone's inspired by you. So, you always just know that you're making a difference. But yeah, that was one thing that's really memorable. Another is a funny one, but so I got a award from President Obama.
Yeah, I saw that. That's so sick. You met him too?
Well, here's the story. So at the time, I was getting a lot of awards and stuff for just the charity work I was doing. And so I got the letter saying, I'm getting this, and I'm like, all right, cool. Well, that's really nice. That's awesome. Well, the thing is, I had a charity event for the same night as the ceremony. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just skip the ceremony. I'll go to the charity event, and they'll send me an award. Well, I didn't really read too much into the letter because I saw it was from the White House, but I just thought it was just like a little award ceremony. I didn't know that actually it was from the president. So until I missed the event, I did the charity event, and I saw on the news that, it was like a big thing. And so I totally stood up to President of the United States.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Wow. So that's a once in a lifetime thing there. I mean,
that's just dumb. That was just dumb. But no, I missed the event and stuff for a good cause. So it worked out. It's fine.
Right. I understand that completely. Now, how does somebody follow you? I know on Instagram, but it's Knightmage. Is that on all of your accounts then?
Yeah, pretty much. Knightmage on everything. Knightmage on Facebook, Twitter, Knightmage 100 on Instagram, Knightmage on TikTok. But if you just go to my website, knightmage.org, all my social links are on there. A few of my costumes are on there. All my upcoming appearances are on there, minus the charity events. Because those are typically private, but all like the conventions and stuff are on the website.
There you go. There you have. Man, I really appreciate your time. I had one more random question as far as not clout chasing, but what is or who is somebody or a few people that you've met at these places that you're like, I can't believe I've met so and so.
Oh my gosh, man, there's a lot. I'll tell you the one situation that made me realize what is life right now is when I found myself in the green room in Saudi Arabia talking with Steven Seagal and William Shatner about real estate.
What?
Right. And I'm sitting there, I'm dressed as Voldemort. And that was the moment that I'm like, what is happening? What is this?
Oh my God, that's great. I feel like that should be a short or a video or something there.
That was, but I've been blessed. I've met so many people, and it's crazy because again, I'm typically dressed up and stuff, but running into the same celebrities and stuff at other cons, and they remember me and they knew who I am, and then now, I have contacts with them and actually converse with them, and so it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Man, thank you so much. One last question I want to ask because I was thinking about it a minute ago. Do you have a certain organization you help out the most, or one that you created of your own that you want to promote at all?
Well, so what I do is I've worked with over 200 different charities worldwide. So what I do is at every convention I go to, and this is how it kind of got started, was I was doing the charity events, and then I started doing the conventions. Well, it got to a point where I would get invited to a convention, but then I had a charity event that weekend, so it's kind of like, man, I really have this awesome opportunity to go to California, but I have this charity event, so it's like, how do you choose that? So I decided, well, why don't I combine them? So what I do is everywhere I go, I pick a local charity. So if I'm going to Alabama or Tennessee, wherever I'm going, I pick a local charity to wherever I'm going, and I give away all my prints and autographs for free. And I just ask for a donation if they want to give a donation, whatever amount, and 100% goes back to that charity. So it's my way of giving back, still being able to give back, but then I'm still having the opportunity of being there and being able to travel and stuff like that. So to me, it's a win-win. But I work with a lot of charities. Make-A-Wish, I've worked with over 30 different chapters of Make-A-Wish. So wherever I go somewhere new, typically that chapter, wherever I'm at, is going to be my first go-to to support and partner with, just because I really want to hit every single chapter of Make-A-Wish in the world. That would be amazing. So they're my first go-tos. The Ron McDonald houses, I work with them a lot. And a lot of humane societies. So there's no just one. I really like just to help out as much as I can everywhere I can.
And then I guess the last plug for you then is if somebody's listening that says, okay, well, we have this coming up, or we have this school and this activity, and we would love to hire you or to contact you to come to an event, how does somebody reach out to you?
Yeah, you just go to my website. There's a link for contact. Just send me a message, and like I say, my appearances are on there. So if you see that I'm already booked for that weekend, sorry, but if you see that it's not booked, then go ahead and send me a contact, and let's talk.
Man, thank you so much for your time, bro. I really, really greatly appreciate what you do.
No problem, man. Thanks for contacting me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for spending an hour of your time with us. Now will you do yourself a favor? Check us out on Catching Up with Carter and Fam Show. Do yourself another favor. And follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Insta. Our dog's also up there, so you'll be doing yourself a third favor. And we'll see you next week. Toodles!